So the 10th day is 10 Lords a-Leaping, so I'm going to be doing my top 5 favorite male fantasy authors, which is actually a lot harder than I thought it would be, because there's a lot of authors that I enjoy, but picking a favorite was really hard, and not because like, oh, is it this one or that one, it's just like, a lot of the male authors that I've read, there's like issues I have with certain parts of their stories or something where it's really hard to qualify them as my favorite. So we're going to start with the bottom of the list, and I think it's mostly because I haven't finished a series. I'm only like 5 books in, but I own all the books, and that's Robert Jordan. I adore Robert Jordan's writing style. I find it very beautiful, and it's really, for me, it's actually really easy to read, but it's so long, and there's like parts of it that just kind of feel like you're slogging through it. So I'm hoping I start picking it up faster, because after reading one, I just can't pick up the next one right away for some reason. Not with like other people who write really big books. But he's going to have to qualify for number 5. The other ones aren't in any specific order, really. But we'll go with the next one, which is Jim C. Hines. He wrote the Goblin Quest, he wrote the series, he wrote the Libromancer series. He's a action humor writer, and it's generally funny. This is actually a really great series about a scrawny little goblin who ends up becoming a hero. A hero for goblins, not like a human hero. And his stuff's really funny. Really easy to read. Generally, it's really quick for me to read through these. And I really enjoy the writing style. Then we're going to come to Jim Butcher, who wrote the Dresden Files books and Codex Alaria. I have not finished Codex Alaria books, but I'm caught up on the Jim Butcher books. I mean, the Dresden Files books. And they're really fun. It has taken a lot of different turns. Like, it seems to be like going in one direction, then it'll change. Start going a different direction, then it'll change. And his stuff is filled with a lot of surprises. And I really enjoy these books. And I can't wait for the next ones to come out. Though, I didn't buy any of his, like, anthologies. Not yet. Number 2, which is actually pretty easy. It's almost a tie between number 2 and number 1. And I really am not sure which of these is going to... Before long, I'm sure Brandon Sanderson's going to be my favorite author, because his stuff is amazing. I really enjoyed his Arcanum Abound. The, what is it? Hold on. Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell is my favorite short story. And I just mean, in general, it is my favorite short story. I read it frequently. It is great. He is so good at character. He is so good at description. And his stuff never feels, so far, never feels like there's a slog to get through. It never feels like he spends too much time on description. And he describes a lot of stuff, but it never feels too much to me. And I really enjoy it. And currently still number 1 is Robert Asprin, another fine myth conceptions. I love the Myth series. I love his Dragon's Wild series. I love his Fool's Company series. They are funny. There's so much wordplay in them, and I love them. They are punny and great and fantastic. And he's written science fiction and fantasy. He's never written epic fantasy. It's more like he's written good urban fantasy. He's written some really good, like, comedic, pulpy fantasy, like the Myth Adventures series. Though one of the things I really adore about him is that seldom in his books is violence the key to winning at the end of the day. And that, to me, is just something that you don't see very often. It's generally like, who's going to be stronger, or if you're smarter, you still have to be stronger to win. And in my favorite book of his, they just talk the antagonist down and convince the antagonist to join their side and just kind of disappear and kind of go into hiding. And I love it. It makes me so happy. These are books that I read them every year. I love these. He is amazing. He's an author that passed way too soon, in my opinion. And it's great. So, that's it. That is 5 of my favorite male authors. Surprisingly, there just aren't that many authors. I like series. There's plenty of series that I really enjoy, but there's also, like, there aren't that many authors I found that can keep me entertained from series to series. Like J.K. Rowling, I really love the Harry Potter series, but most of the stuff she's produced after that, I don't feel the same way about, and it's kind of lessened my desire to keep on reading that stuff or even seeing the movies, really. But that's it. I will see you guys later. You have a great day. Bye!